welcome to the 9th series of Just the Job. Each week we'll be looking at the huge variety of careers available in New Zealand today. And to kick off the brand new series, we've got a New Zealand Defence Force special as we look at officer entry careers. We begin with the Royal New Zealand Navy as Matthew finds out what it takes to become an officer of the watch. Then Thomas heads down the line to the New Zealand Army's Linton and Trentham bases, where he helps plan field manoeuvres and finds out about careers with the military police. And finally, Ellen from Kelson takes to the skies with the Royal New Zealand Air Force as she discovers what it takes to become an air warfare officer. So let's get started and join Matthew, Thomas and Ellen as they are all put through their paces.
Hi, my name's Tom and I'm from Onehunga High School.
Hello, my name is Matthew and I'm from Kaipara College.
Kia ora, my name's Ellen and I go to Custom Girls College.
Today, our 3 students are finding out about officer roles in the New Zealand Defence Forces. First port of call is the Devonport Naval Base Gym.
Good morning, welcome to the Fleet Gymnasium. I'm leading Peter Luke and I'm going to be taking you this morning for your fitness testing.
To enter the Defence Forces, you must pass the multi-stage fitness test. Stage 1. The beep test measures aerobic capacity. Ellen is close to the qualifying standard but is first to drop off the pace.
Go, pick it up, keep going. First warning.
Meanwhile, the boys are stride for stride.
So done.
Push-ups next, and Tom shows good form.
Okay,
But
we really
the sit-ups prove to be tough for some.
No. No. 23. 24.
Nice work, Ellen. Overall assessment, a pass mark for all 3. Time to head our separate ways. Matthew stays on base to check out a career as an officer with the New Zealand Navy. His mentor is Lieutenant Tammy Tar.
Hi, my name is Matthew.
Hi, I'm Tammy.
Are we going straight onto the ship?
No, we're going to go and get you uniform first.
Okay, let's go.
So my job is I'm a warfare officer, and essentially that entails me driving the ship as what's called an officer of the watch. We're a big part of keeping the ship safe, keeping it safe from grounding, keeping it safe from colliding with other vessels.
After Matt's morning workout, a chance to refuel.
So Matt, uniform seems to fit. We're just in time for lunch. So this is the Vince McGowan galley on base. This is where all rates can come and eat. So senior rates, junior rates and officers. On the ship, we'd be split into 3 messes, but over here we're all combined.
So Tammy, is the food like this every day?
Pretty much, mate. It's really good food. That's why you got to keep your fitness up and keep going to the gym.
Tammy's duties include training new officers in the art of navigation. The bridge simulator is a high-tech and safe environment for recruits to learn these skills. The man in charge is Sean Plummer.
Sean, this is Matt. Matt, this is Sean. He's our bridge sim manager.
Okay, Matt, in here is our instructor station. This is where we control everything that goes on inside the simulator or inside the bridge. So when we're instructing, when we're monitoring people, we can see what they're doing, why they're doing it, how often, how frequently, and then we can learn from that and we can feed that back to the guys.
Hey Matt, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do an Auckland entry and I'll show you how pilotage into a harbour works. We've got a few students watching at the back that I'm teaching as well, so we'll see how it goes.
Awesome.
Captain Sir Navigator, first course is a course of 215 running off Takapuna directional light. For the warfare side of training, you obviously do your 6 months initial officer training. You then come through and you do 3 months on the Officer Watch basic course. And then pretty much straight after that you'll go to a ship. So 9 months after joining the Navy, generally you'll end up on a ship.
The pilotage is going well, but Sean decides to spice things up a bit.
And so the cruise liner now at Red 30 has altered, now have a header-on aspect. And rain's closing in now, so on nav lights. And as you can see now, the sea state's starting to increase and it's now raining. And we can imitate bigger seas, rain, snow, hail, thunderstorms, you name it, we can do it. So Matt, that's the simulator. Would you like to try the real thing?
Yeah, awesome, definitely.
Cool, let's go.
HMNZS Wellington is an offshore patrol vessel. A series of training exercises have been planned, but first, let's take a look below deck.
So Matt, this is the galley. This is where all the food for the ship's company gets prepared by the chefs on board. Good food equals good morale, poor food equals not so good morale. So Matt, this is the wardroom. This is where all the officers will eat and socialise. We've got the dining room here, a lounge area there, and we've also got the bar for when we entertain alongside. Also, this is typical officers' accommodation where you'll spend your whole time at sea. What do you think?
It looks a little bit cramped, but if that's the sleeping conditions, then that's fine.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
So this is Matt Brooking. Matt, this is Lieutenant Commander Phil Rowe.
Lieutenant Commander Phil Rowe is the ship's commanding officer.
I'm going to take you up to the bridge now.
Awesome.
The bridge is the ship's control centre. The role of the officer watch or navigator is pivotal.
As far as being a navigator, they need to be able to stand out on the bridge whilst we're doing pilotage. It's not just being able to take a ship in and out of harbour. They also need to have that bridge presence, because ultimately they're going to be the bridge manager. They're also responsible for the young lads that are up there actually physically hands-on wheel, and they're the people, or the guy or girl that stands on the bridge during a pilotage to make that decision if something goes wrong and advise me straight away.
The crew jump to action to a man overboard alarm. Their position is identified on the left side of the ship. The navigator alters course and slows down. A rib is dropped to recover the body. Although this is a simulation, it's to test the reaction time of the team.
As an officer of the watch, you're given responsibility quite early on, and that you're given charge of a ship and the crew on that ship. So you've got the responsibility of keeping that ship safe, not only from running aground or from crashing into another boat, but you're in charge of all the lives on that ship as well. So if you're driving a frigate along, you've got to remember that there's another 175 souls on that ship that you're responsible for. So yeah, being a warfare officer or an officer of the watch has a lot of responsibility entailed with it.
With the mission complete, Tammy takes the reins.
East 10, so you can see the rudder indicators up there. So that tells you how much rudder you've got on. Very good. To go around, so if you've got a swell onto starboard, the ship's going to turn to starboard. Altering 270. Cool?
Yeah.
Your turn.
Now in clear water, let's see if Matt can handle the pressure.
Altering 330.
Cool. And then he'll give you a heads up when you're almost at 330 so that you can then con it onto a course. So go port 5.
Port 5.
Cool, and you see the numbers up there, so it's almost on 330.
Yeah.
And then go midships,
Midships.
steer 330.
Steer 330.
Very good.
Very good.
Cool, easy, eh?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So Matt did really, really well. He seemed to enjoy himself. Did really well in the bridge sim. At sea, he seemed to pick up a lot of things. But yeah, I think he would do really well in the Navy, and he seems to have a bit of a passion for it.
I enjoyed working in the simulator, and I also enjoyed going out on the HMNZS Wellington and going into the bridge and having a turn as a warfare officer. It was really good fun.
You must have NCEA Level 2 with a minimum of 12 credits in Level 2 English for direct entry, and you'll be required to pass the Officer Selection Board. You need to be mentally and physically fit for service. There's also a lot of travel, and you're often away for 6 months of the year. Teamwork and communication are essential for this job. Well done, Matthew. You did a great job as Officer of the Watch. And well, you keep watching, because after the break, we're going to check out officer careers with the Army. Don't go away. Welcome back to Just the Job. This week we're looking at officer careers with the New Zealand Defence Force. Let's join Thomas now as he finds out about Army officer careers.
My name's Tom. I'm a student at Onehunga High School in Auckland, and I'm trying out for an officer's job in the Army.
Lieutenant Cheryl Keel is the platoon commander for the military police in Linton Military Camp. Today she's going to give Tom a taste of Army life.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Linton Military Camp.
Thanks.
I'm Lieutenant Cheryl Keel.
Cool, I'm Tom.
We're ready to get you dressed for the day.
Sure.
To be a good generalist officer, you need to adhere to the military values of courage, comradeship, commitment and integrity. You need those values because every day you're faced with things that the normal person isn't. Being an officer in New Zealand Army is not a job, it's a lifestyle. You need to be ready at a moment's notice to go anywhere, fulfil any role, from being an operations officer or in a staff role to a commander on the ground. Squad, button left, quick, march. Left, right, left, right, left. So part of my job is to be physically fit. So that means we do PT 3 times a week. The New Zealand Army also sponsors you to participate in sports, and they encourage it.
Each soldier is wearing a body armour and jacket packed with lead, and also carrying their rifle. Training with an additional 20 kgs of weight simulates conditions in the field. Tom is playing the air gun.
So the New Zealand Army is deployed in a variety of locations around the globe, from Afghanistan to Solomon Islands, Antarctica. You need to be ready at a moment's notice to go anywhere, fulfil any role, from being an operations officer or in a staff role to a commander on the ground.
By the left, quick, march. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
So as a G-list officer, you're the forefront of the platoon all the time. So you need to lead by example. My day-to-day duties include management of the platoon, administration of the platoon, and then general policing. So we manage investigations and adherence to the rules and regulations of the camp and base. Right, so we're just conducting a vehicle checkpoint, and what we're looking for is compliancy. So we'll generally stop all the traffic that's coming in, just make sure that the right people have got the right licences and that they're accessing camp for the right reasons.
My name's Tom, just working with the military police. We're just doing vehicle compliance checks, so can just see your licence and...
He's doing well.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so things that I really like about the job is the physical fitness, the working with the guys, and playing with cool stuff. We do have a lot of cool stuff.
The simulator room can run a variety of field scenarios. Today the platoon is practicing command-control communication.
To the right of the alleyway in the fence.
Objective is to hunt out Taliban insurgents. It's like Call of Duty, but you only get one life. And if you accidentally shoot your mate, it's not good.
That's me gone, guys.
A fail for Tom, but maybe he'll live through his next test.
So welcome to the urgent duty driving component of military police training. So what we've got here is just a couple of the aspects of the cone course setup, but today we've got a bit of a difference.
What's that?
We're going to do it backwards. And to give you a demonstration, we've got our resident driving guru, Connie Yardley.
The pass mark is to complete the course in under 1 minute. Being able to visualise the cones is key, and Connor can literally do this with his eyes closed.
In 38 seconds.
Oh, yep.
You ready to take the wheel?
Yep, yeah, I'll have a go.
Jump in.
Get ready. Your time starts now.
Tom seems at ease behind the wheel. Just one more cone. Nailed it.
So we're done now?
Not just yet. You've got some cones to pick up.
Just the ones I hit, eh?
No, all of them.
I wasn't joking.
So I joined the army because I wanted to do something different every day. And here you certainly get that. One day we might be on the range, the next day doing some policing or investigating, followed by looking after the guys or taking them out in the field. It's the people in New Zealand Army that make it special, and that is 100% true.
Investigation is a duty performed by the military police. Today they will collect evidence from the house of a high-level planner working for an active terrorist cell.
Okay, Operation Rust Remover. So this is the building that we'll be entering. So bathroom, kitchen, primary entrance, secondary entrance, hallway, lounge, and 3 bedrooms. Okay, sync your watches. It's 13:20 in 20 seconds.
The planner has been detained and the house cleared. All that remains to be done is to photograph and tag the evidence.
So the New Zealand Army, they paid for my degree. They sent me to Australia. I did 4 years of study, and the whole time I was studying, I also earned a salary. So the advantages of being an officer is that you actually get to see your decisions played out on the ground. You go through a process of planning, and you deliver orders to your guys, and then you actually get to see in effect whether or not your plan was good or not.
So you just want to set up there. And your arc is right to the road, left to the spray mark on the tree over there.
All right, area secure. Tom, take command, camera vehicle.
The team is being deployed on a surveillance exercise, and Tom puts up a tent.
So this is pretty cool. What do you use it for? What's the point of it?
Okay, so the cam net is not designed really to hide us, but it is designed to hide the things that we've got, like our vehicle or any sensitive equipment that we've got under here. So now what we can do is open up the back door, and it's got a table in there, and we can use it as our mobile command post. The only people that will stay in here is generally the commander and the signaller who will stay on the radio. We live under here 24/7, and the other guys will live out in their hutchies.
Cool. Dinner time?
Dinner time. So that's your ration pack for 24 hours. It's got everything you need in there, from toilet paper to spoons to your main meals. Right, so this particular one is sweet and sour chicken with rice. And the beauty is you don't actually have to do any washing up.
Easy.
Stays in the bag.
Gourmet meals in a jiffy. Simmer gently for 30 seconds and enjoy.
Beautiful. It's just like Mum's, only better.
So Tom did really well. He started off a little bit tentative, but he really grew into his own, and it showed in his orders. Yeah, overall, he'd be a pretty good fit as an officer in the Army.
I probably most enjoyed the driving, just because it was a bit more hands-on.
Nice, good work.
Yeah, career as an officer in the Army would definitely be the way to go. They pay for your study, obviously, and, you know, it's fun to give orders, so, yeah.
To be an officer in the Army, you need to be at least 17 and a half years old. Applicants need to have NCEA Level 2 with a minimum of 12 credits in English. You are required to pass an officer selection board. You should be self-motivated and display leadership potential. You could be eligible for sponsored tertiary education. Well done, Thomas. We're getting airborne in a moment with the Air Force, but first, here's Sarah from Careers New Zealand.
Thanks, Clinton. Our Defence Force has many varied and exciting careers on offer, with different entry qualifications. All jobs have different requirements, and the Careers New Zealand website has information on over 400 jobs, as well as hints, tips and advice on how to choose the right career. Check out our jobs database and our interactive tools at careers.govt.nz.
Thank you, Sarah. After the break, it's chocks away as Alan takes to the skies with the Air Force. Don't go away. You're watching Just the Job, New Zealand's careers program that has showcased hundreds of careers to date. Let's join Ellen now as she finds out how her career could take off with the Royal New Zealand Air Force.
Kia ora, I'm Ellen, I'm 17 years old and I go to Castle Girls College, and I'm here today at the Whenuapai Air Base learning how to become an officer in the Air Force.
Today, Flight Lieutenant Blair Wormsley from 5 Squadron will be taking Ellen under his wing.
Morning, Ellen.
Morning.
I'm Blair. Welcome to Whenuapai Air Force Base.
Thanks for having me.
So you ready for an action-packed day?
Yep, excited.
Great. Alrighty, I think the first thing we need to do is get you some flying overalls so you look the part.
Okay.
Let's go to the clothing store.
Great.
So I'm an air warfare officer on board the P3K2 Orion, specifically a tactical coordinator, which means I am responsible for the tactical direction and coordination of the aircraft in order to achieve mission outcomes.
Before Blair and Ellen take flight, it's a trip to the base pool for a crash course in sea survival training.
So here we have a couple of the key pieces of survival equipment that we carry on the aircraft. We have the Mae West Life Preserver.
If Mae West means vest, then check out the QDS. It's a quick don emergency suit, and one size fits all.
Pull it up. So slowly work your way up. Not doing too bad so far.
Already sweating.
Yeah.
The high-vis suit is designed to keep an airman dry and warm in freezing water should they crash at sea.
Very good.
The aircraft also carry life rafts, giving good protection from the elements for survivors.
Okay, Alan, so at the moment we're here at 230 Squadron. This is one of the training facilities we have at our disposal to practice our standard operating procedures and processes that will carry out airborne but on the safety of a ground environment. Simulators are very important for training. Essentially, it allows us to practice procedures or actions in a relatively realistic environment, but without the dangers of doing it airborne. Have a seat, Alan. This is our squadron leader, Marcus Hogan, one of the pilots on 5 Squadron.
Hey Alan, how you going?
He'll be taking us for a flight.
The air warfare officer is primarily on hand to in 2 roles in the P3, both as the tactical coordinator and the information manager. And both of those have various responsibilities, but the one they probably mostly directly support the pilots would be in some navigation assistance and fuel planning. Those types of things.
And in the safe environment of the simulator, Alan gets a hands-on opportunity to land the P3 Orion.
Just turn it a little bit left, and as you turn, you're just going to need to pull back a little bit as well. A little bit of gear, just roll out there. That's the way. And the runway is just over to the right, so we just need to come a bit further right. That's good, that's good. And what you want to do is start your flare now. So pull back. Oh, not too much. It's all good. And just let it settle down. And that was probably a little bit hard landing, but that's why we're in the simulator. Cool. No, you're all right.
An important part of being an information manager is mission planning.
So yesterday afternoon, Joint Forces New Zealand sent through a tasking message to us here at 5 Squadron, tasking us to head out this afternoon to the Bay of Plenty and conduct a patrol of that area.
Blair first plots the flight path with vision navigation charts, using the computer or paper charts. Pilots have air highways, kind of like road maps for planes.
So for today's route, we'll go from Whenuapai Air Force Base along the Hotel 182.
One more important calculation. Blair needs to work out the minimum amount of fuel needed to safely return to base.
The sort of person that's got to be interested in becoming an air warfare officer is someone who's interested in maths and physics, someone who likes to work in a team and enjoys communicating with people. It's a really critical part of what we do.
Right, good morning all.
Alan's communication skills are put to the test at the pre-flight briefing.
Okay, so today we'll be operating in the Bay of Plenty area. The area safe height is 8,000 feet. The only conflicting airspace is the volcanic area around White Island, right here, around here. And bingo is 10,500 pounds, and it'll be 10,000 feet return out to 170 nautical miles from Whanopā.
Briefing completed, the crew are ready to deploy. 30 minutes into the flight and the P3 Orion is over the target area.
Radar copies. Pilot copies. Take radar track 7 input.
A potential target has appeared on the radar.
Pilot flight 2 is on track 5 for the rig.
Information Manager Alan confirms the target can only be a vessel.
Track 5 is not land, MSA 1,500 feet.
Copy MSA 1500.
MSA is the minimum safe altitude the pilot can fly. Meanwhile, optics have a visual on the target.
Stern trawler. Bird activity. Zulu Mike Sierra Lima.
Blair confirms that the vessel is a registered fishing boat.
Roger, nothing unusual there. And pilot's back to track, thanks.
Mission complete. So how did Alan go?
Alan displays potential, and it's certainly what we're looking for at this stage. She demonstrated those key attributes we're looking for: confidence and intelligence, both in the mission planning and preparation, particularly during the crew brief, and in flight, providing all the key pieces that were required for us to conduct our mission.
Would I do the job? Yeah, definitely. Like, if they gave me a job, yeah, I'll come back.
You need to be at least 17 years old and physically fit. Applicants need to have NCEA Level 2 with a minimum of 18 credits each in English, Maths and a Science. You must pass an officer selection board. Training is on the job, including up to 120 hours flying in your first year. Well, thanks to Matthew, Thomas and Alan for all taking part in this week's program. To find out more about the training opportunities and careers from this week's show, plus information about all the careers that we feature in this series, visit our program website, tvnz.co.nz/justthejob, or simply Google Just the Job. So good luck, and I'll see you next week.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.